Call the meeting of the Edward Farrar Utility District to order here at the Steel Room for Wednesday, April 8th. First order of the business is to approve the agenda. I think we have one addition.
And we also might want, out of courtesy to Bill, Bill is listed, I believe, at the 610 mark for the EFUD water and sewer reserve funds and exempt reserve funds. If we could move him up, he's got another.
I have to start here about 6. Are we doing right after the minutes? Was that
Do that or after I talked to Joseph Farrar here, so maybe right after him, before we talk about the informational meeting.
Okay.
So that would be the reserve funds to go after Joseph Farrar here. Then the audit.
Yeah, audit engagement letter. You can put wherever you'd like.
I know we do it just before the department reports here.
Okay, and that's fine.
Anything else? Move to approve the agenda with the additions, though.
so moved?
Second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda with 2 additions. Moving the reserve fund up to shortly after the 450 item, and to add audit engagement letter at 610. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. So we have 2 minutes to public. Anybody here for something that's not on the agenda?
I think I might just poke my business into the 540 VDAG loan.
Sure.
Thank you.
No?
No?
No, I said yes. Moving on, we got the minutes of March 11th and March 12th. They're in the package.
Right, I've reviewed them. They seem fine by me.
Both of them?
Both of them. We move that we adopt the minutes of Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, and of Thursday, March 19th, 2026, as presented.
Second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of March 11th and March 12th as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. So, Clint Bedell had a 1-week move request.
Yeah, I think Kaya put in your packet, Mr. Bedell's usage, a calculated amount as to what he would like. And on the top first page is Clinton's letter or request asking, well, in essence, asking for relief from some of that water.
Who was the gentleman? Okay.
Me. Yeah, he genuinely was concerned and wanted to be, he's an older gentleman and wanted to go right down in the basement, find it and fix it. So,
Which house is it?
he's right at the crest of the hill on, what was it?
The old junkyard thing there?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not the Apple guy.
I think he does have that. Yeah, I think he does sell apples. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's an example of what this the rule might be used to apply, although I think in theory, you're supposed to keep your basement from freezing and breaking. I'm gonna guess that's kind of what might have happened, but it was a cold winter and
So it is a broken pipe that,
broken something. I didn't, other than stopping at the front door, that's all I said. I don't think he really wanted me to pop in the basement,
so he gets a credit of,
he would probably pay his bill for requested investment for the plumbing invoice. He said he took care of repairs himself. He was so
paid 650 and he should have paid 86,
that's the way I read it.
so he'd get a rebate.
Yes.
Anybody have questions on that, or?
I move we approve the application one leak rule.
Second,
It's fitting that you would make that one.
I chisel that in stone.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the one leak adjustment to Clint Bedell's water bill, that he has fixed the leak in his basement and would be credited the difference between the bill that he paid and the thing. Yes,
Do you want the motion to include a refund or you want a credit?
what do we normally do?
Well, we can offer him, let's refund it. He's, yeah.
Okay.
okay, yes, with that in the motion.
Okay.
So he would get a refund for that.
Yeah.
Because he's paid, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the motion would be to refund the differences. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Next up on the agenda is Joseph Farrar, who's here, that emailed me, and I talked with Woody. He's been going up in the watershed for a number of years and monitoring a patch of lady slippers and other flowers that are kind of unique. They're not endangered, but he's asked permission to go up there, and I asked him to come to the meeting and share what you've been doing, and at least, I don't know, Woody knows exactly where these flowers are, but
Not all of them, no.
but I think we should know where they are in terms of where trails and things go. Would you like to join us up here, Joseph?
You didn't send, I saw the pictures, but they were in an email.
That's those are So tell us about these flowers and how you came to be looking up there and just what you do or.
Well, I stumbled upon them real action. I was following an old logging road. There's several in the property that runs up to probably about 2,500 meters to state line. And off to the side, probably about elevation of 2,300 feet, so it's not far from the state property. I came across this patch of wildflowers, which normally grows sporadically. You usually get a half dozen grows as you go there. And first time I saw it, I really couldn't count as many. There were so many. Wow. It did eventually start coming on. And they average out about 75. But not all the plants grow every year, so I know there's more of it. Yeah. So now what I would like to do is go up, do an actual physical count, so I can just do it. Several samples, like every 50 feet, along 150, 200 foot path between, and I can not only count the flowers, but I'll try to count the leaves. Get a full count of numbers. Again, this is not anything, but I think it's one of those processes of the condition, because it is pretty specific.
And you also said you monitored the patch over in Wakefield or something?
Face out forest, and that's very typical when it's got about 5. And about Mansfield State Forest in the Cotton Brook area, if you know where that is. Yeah. And that's got about 10 down from about 20, which makes it interesting. One of the things that got me interested is it's so few specimens within an area. How does this plant survive without injury? But which is obviously not an issue in your property.
These are happy.
Something's happy. I'd like to find out what, but something's very happy.
Bill, do you know where this,
I don't specifically, I have seen those flowers in the watershed.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, when, are you going during bloom time or?
Yes. Usually the first 2 weeks of June, I try to time it based upon how much more snow we get.
Yeah.
Because it's all snow, this thing, sure.
Yeah. Are you seeing mostly the white or the pink or the?
The pink, the
Pink.
yellow would be an endangered species. Yeah. That would be the state documents, but the red is not endangered. It's not common. It's not something that's little.
Yeah. Well,
I bet the UVM class is doing some work up there with green buildings too. I know it's after their semester.
Oh, well, I didn't know there was a school something up there, but yes, I'm not getting any younger. I'm in my 70s and I'd like someone to take over them. Yeah.
if we allow you to do so, you'll give us a short report on what you found? That would be good. That'd be great.
It'd be good to
Make a motion.
get the location on a map or something too. So,
Yeah, that would be great. So if one of our staff can accompany, that'd be great.
well, I was hoping that somebody of the landscape assessment program
Oh, yeah.
could
That's
let they knew about them
great.
up that high too, to
Yep.
kind of record that as a part of their assessment.
Absolutely.
UVM folks, yeah, later birds.
That'd
Do
be
you
great.
want me to reach out to Sophie and see if I
we can, I think what we're gonna come up against is the students will be gone.
I know. So I'm just wondering now if there's a way we can
Yeah, I think
get this
if we get
together.
the GPS coordinates, Sophie can enter, or Sophie would like to go, that'd be great, yeah.
Do you have a GPS or?
But Sophie does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, it's good,
No, I get it,
things.
So
you
how many-
got your past records too, or?
Yeah, they're basically that I know what I found, I know what I up to. But not much more than that because I wanted to be sure this wasn't a fluke,
Right.
that it was going to continue. And it has continued now for about 4 years, 5 years, so I don't think it's a fluke.
That's great. And you say you made several visits in the first part of June, you said?
I try to make one, but if I time it wrong, I can make a second.
Right. Well, I would move that we grant Mr. Barr permission to monitor this, what do I want to say, this bloom in June. And report back to us on your findings.
Reporting with a map of it.
And with a map, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully,
I'd be happy to go with you. I can GPS the location as well as.
That was your motion,
Yeah.
second motion.
The motion has been made and seconded to, allow Mr. Bloom. Yeah.
Your new nickname.
We'll start calling him Leopold.
Mr. Farrar to, go up on the waterworks land to monitor the, lady slipper flowers and things and give us a report and, locate the site on a map and things for us, so. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes, so you can let Woody know when you think appropriate time to.
so, can someone, you let me know?
Sure. Yeah, yep, we'll get, you're a water customer, we can find you.
Absolutely.
Whereabouts do you live?
Mateo Court,
Yeah.
I often see you walking.
everyone in Waterbury send the season. And just, to let you know, it takes about an hour to get up.
Yep,
And then doing the work of. And if you want to leave before.
yeah. Stay to get informed, yeah.
Still like to be outside.
Yeah. I won't go if it rains, no.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's not pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me know if you're, hopefully, more than just weekends.
Yeah, anytime, we'll make time for it.
Well, thank you for contacting
Yeah,
us.
really appreciate it.
Well, wedding's gonna go up there while we were officially having closed.
Yeah.
It's not my style.
No, I much appreciate it. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up is, a report on the reserve funds as to what Bill's been able to decipher from our past activity.
Right, well, it's bubbled together as best I can. The information is not really easy to get. You want?
Sure.
But I can give you some information and then you can decide how you want to do it. So the first side of this is what I gave you in March. And it basically shows the value of the investment portfolios for water and sewer as of the end of 2025. And, and I kind of broken down all as of November 1999, those things at the top that total $514,000 all came in before November of 1999, and including allocation fees. And then I counted the allocation fees between 2006 and 2026 and came up with 528,311. And then I estimated using that 528, 311, and taking the average over that span of time. And I estimated what came in from 2005, and 2000 to 2005, years in which kind of was a blackout for this information. So that all totaled $1.2 million. And and then the January value, I can't remember if that was the January ending value or the beginning value. I think it was the beginning of January value. Was 1.592 million of securities and money market in the Edward Jones portfolio.
for the water fund. And 283,000 of that came in right at the end of 2025. That was half the general property management fund and half the general capital reserve fund. So that came in. So the water portfolio before you added that in would have been $1.3 million. And then down below, I did the same thing with the sewer. Didn't have, we didn't have any other revenue that was outside of sewer rents, except for allocation fees and sewer. We didn't have timber sales, and we didn't have Duxbury Moortown or the Loo system. So all we had in the sewer fund was allocation fees, and 604,739 came in, including that estimated almost 140,000 that came in between 2000 and 2005. And then the January value of the portfolio was $418,000. So you can see that's a couple $100,000 less than came in even with the allocation fees. So we didn't invest all of that. And that 418,986 includes the $283,000 that came in from the property management and general capital reserve fund that went to the sewer plant. So those funds together were split in half, and 50% went to water and 50% went to sewer. So anyway, that's where we are right now. March was a bad month for the stock market. There's a war somewhere in the world. It's kind of play a role. So the lead role. The water fund lost, unrealized losses of almost $89,000, and the sewer lost about $25,500. So and I have not given you this information except what I'm telling you. So at the end of March, the water portfolio was $1,526,828. And the sewer portfolio at the end of March was $399,673. So what I tried to do, and with limited success, on the back of the sheet that you have there, if you look at the back side, I asked Nanette to print out from 2006 to the current date, which is the period of time that the NEMRIC accounting system covers. Before 2006, we were using NEMRIC, but we were not using it to the degree that we should have, and the information for those years is not really available. So from 2006 to today, this is the amount of money that was sent by the village of EFA to Edward Jones. You can see at the bottom, it's $962,941. However, the only money in that time that was sent either to the water or sewer funds, and nothing was sent to the sewer fund, is the two amounts that are circled up toward the top. $75,000 was sent to the water money market fund in January of 2022, and $263,535 was sent to the water money market fund in 2019. I tried my best using the system to determine how much money was sent in or out of Edward Jones back and forth between the village. It's really You know, if I could go back and get all the statements from Edward Jones for the last 25 years, it would be easier, or the last 20 years, but it's not simple. So going in, nothing has gone into the sewer fund from our general checking account since prior to 2006. And only, let's say, only 338,535 was sent in to the water fund in that 20-year period.
So, that's a good question. So when you say in, it's from the portfolio?
No.
No. So where?
In to Edward Jones means from the village's general fund checking account.
Checking, yes.
Where so water revenues, whether
Yes,
it's water rents or allocation fees or whatever, that just comes from our customers into our checking account. And those two checks, the $75,000 check and the $263,500 check, was sent to Edward Jones to invest. So the other pieces of information that I can give you is that at the beginning of 2006, let me just get my calculator so you can complete numbers. In the water fund, there was $40,748 in the money market and $328,383 in securities on January 1st, 2006. So that means there was $369,000, $369,631 was in the water investment portfolio on January 1st, 2006. In the sewer portfolio, there was $47,291 in the money market, and there was $362,382 in securities. So the sewer had $409,673 on January 1st, 2006 invested. I don't know how much we've moved out of Edward Jones. I asked Annette, is there a reverse report that I could see that showed checks from Edward Jones that came to us? She doesn't know if it exists. If it exists, she doesn't know how to find it. I don't know how to find it. We can ask Nemrick if that's possible. I doubt it's possible. You know, this is a vendor list that we have that we're sending checks to. What I can tell you is, while I don't know how much was taken in and out from Edward Jones back into the general fund checking account for the village, but there were numerous transactions where I could see where we moved money from securities back into the money market, which most of the time we would be rebalancing. There's over $500,000 of that. Some of them I know were sent to the village, but I don't have an exact total. The only other thing that I can tell you is I printed revenue reports for the water and the sewer fund from 2006 through today. And between interest, and I have to say, some of this is not interest on, late water bills. This is interest either that's earned in our checking account. We have a sweep account, so the money sweeps back and forth. That earns a very low interest rate, probably less than 0.5%. We also earn interest on fixed income securities that we hold in the Edward Jones portfolio. And we report when there are dividends from securities, we report that as interest. So I looked on this report for all these 20 years, and we have two lines, both in the water and the sewer. One says interest on securities, and then the other is securities gains and losses, which for the most part are unrealized gains and losses because we don't turn this portfolio around. Since 2006, the water fund has generated $1,324,878 of interest and gains.
Right, so, and I want to be clear on this, on the interest part of it. Interest too is in effect, well, it's realized, but it stayed in the funds.
Yeah, right, but interest is
Small.
but interest by the auditors are booked as an actual asset because it's in your bank. The security that goes up by $1,000,
Right.
unless you sell it, doesn't mean anything. So
Right.
we had $1.324 million of gains, interest and gains in the water fund in that 20-year period, and the sewer fund, $216,668. So I'm not sure what conclusion you want to draw from these numbers. I wish I could get easily the amount of money that we've taken out of the investment portfolio. If you really want that, I'm sure I can work with Edward Jones and I can get that over this same period of time.
Those would be in effect checks that they wrote to us.
Yes, there would be checks that they wrote to us.
Assuming that there aren't that many.
And there's probably not many. There's, you know, as you can see, there's not many checks that have been going in over the past 20 years. We're not sending money from our checking account to Edward Jones. We haven't for a couple of years yet. But I guess this is, my summary of this is, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to segregate how much money came from something other than water rents. I mean, I've given you how much came from allocation fees. I've given you how much has come from timber sales. I've given you how much came from other entities. You know, what I didn't give you, and I don't think it's been invested, but I did see on one of these reports here, it's probably in the water report. You know, there was a significant fortune. I can't find it, but there's a significant revenue somewhere transferred in that came from Duxbury Moortown.
75,000 or so?
Seems more than that, but maybe that was the number. Anyway, you know, that wasn't invested. You know, that came in the last few years, and it certainly happened after January of 2022, because I was still here then and it hadn't come in. So that money is just in the checking account. It's not invested.
I want to make sure I fully understand something you just said a moment ago with this. You don't think you can tell us exactly how much comes from water rents? Did I say that? I want to make sure I understand what you mean by that term.
So what I said was, I think I said, I'm not sure how much. So Bob has been asking questions. I don't know, there's no way to segregate how much of the money that we sent to Edward Jones. In the last 20 years, we sent $338,000 from our general fund checking account to Edward Jones. And in that period, you know, it certainly wasn't money that we generated from timber sales or getting a payment to take over the loose system. It could have been allocation fees that have been received in the last few years, but all I'm saying is all of our revenues for the water fund, it's, there's 10 revenue lines. And everything is a revenue.
Oh, no, yeah.
So the water.
Essentially, how much money comes out of net income? Is that what you really see?
What I'm saying is that Bob seemed to be wondering how much of it came from the users.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, it was the word, it was the term you used. I wanted to make sure I understood it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
So I wish I had a really cogent report that I could give you that says, this is really what you wanted to know. My take on it still is that the water department has, as of last week, $1.5 million invested in the sewer, has $399,673 invested. And you folks are gonna have to figure out what that means and whether you need to set aside any of it for dedicated reserve or not. So, anyway.
So, looking at your, here, the timber sales, interest on the timber sale. The 283 that came from the property management fund were the non-water and sewer related income, right?
Timber.
Yeah, I would say those things absolutely are not, the timber sales, it was the village owned the land and that was a general fund. So the timber sales,
Interest on the
interest on the timber sales and the, what was the other? Oh, the 283,431 definitely did not come from users. Now, I would argue that maybe the loose system buying in wasn't from the users either at the very beginning, but they became users, so that's from our. And the 12,766 skip at the top there, the capital reserve fund. I don't really remember what that was, whether that was just a general capital reserve fund that we ended up dumping into the water, or if it was a water capital reserve fund. I really can't tell you right now without doing a lot more digging.
I think I would be happy looking at the timber sales and that 283, and then, so there's another 283 in the sewer account. So that's the sum total of the
for the sewer, yeah, the sewer is pretty clear. That's the only money that didn't come from sewer users on the sewer.
So that would amount to about 817,000. That's non-water and sewer related.
Yeah,
I think that's the best we can do.
And there's also, I could go and find out, but I don't know what happened when Tom closed the capital reserve and the property management fund and sent 283,431 both to the water and the sewer. There's still a residual in one of those accounts that has to go somewhere. And I don't know.
It's because there was something that still needed to mature. So he hadn't moved it because
it's a bond or something.
Something to mature. So he left it there until it matured.
Well, I can tell you how much that is, and that should be split between the two, I guess.
Yeah, I think that given the path that he was on, it would be split between the two. Yeah.
So I think this is a good general breakdown of what was water and sewer and what's non-water sewer. We have to decide what accounts and things, what's legit, and maybe make a proposal with what we have and let the attorney look at it to see if it meets the statute and go from there. So, is that,
Yeah, I think
got thoughts on Bob or?
Sure. Sure, very good.
How many hours did you spend on this?
Well, when I did this back in March, probably that was probably a day and a half. And then to get ready for today, another half a day or so. So 2-3 days maybe. So
Looking at 35 years of worth of work.
It's a lot of paper chase. And I probably printed off enough to take care of one timber sale. In terms of the pulp that I used.
Yeah, let's get some thoughts about it all and then have a discussion. Because I think there are a number of issues here.
Yeah.
Not merely the sources of the money, it's whether and how much money we can keep and we think we should have on hand.
What
until-
kind of accounts?
And what kind of accounts, so there's several issues.
Yeah.
That's a longer discussion.
It's
Depends what happened.
a good first step in
Yeah.
breaking it. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So thank you, Bill.
Yeah, sure.
and they ask us to just, what's the bottom line, what goes in this file, what's in this file, what's in this file, according to your best guess. And we can
And then and what's the law around it all?
Yeah.
And what do we think we should do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the critical.
Yeah. Good. Great, thank you very much.
Sure.
Really appreciate it.
Happy to help.
So who will talk to, what's the next step or who's taking the next step?
Well, we gotta get through the annual meeting here, and I
Okay,
think
yeah.
after that,
Right, oh yeah, the annual meeting, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's worry about it after the annual meeting.
maybe.
There may be changes.
That's right.
And Bill, I don't know why the best way would be to invest $500 million in something that's.
I've got some ideas. Real estate in Waterbury.
Yeah, we can talk about
So next up was a review of the public informational meeting on the watershed. Anybody had any comments? I just thought to do another one. We really oughta. The sound was the biggest complaint.
Oh, it's big, yeah, that was total, yeah, we'll take.
If we get, I think, a microphone that plugs into the laptop that you can put in front of.
We do want to do that, yeah. And we are planning to have another one. Cindy and I haven't sat down yet. I'm speaking, of course, out of turn to me, but we want to have one more to discuss, to hear from EFUD users and people who are interested in using the land for non-water purposes and really try to suss out what the aims are and have them in our heads as we think about what we can and can't do.
It was too bad Orca didn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good back, that's always a good backup.
Yeah, I know, that was a real bummer.
And I did reach out to them with an email and not heard back.
They didn't say the guy didn't show up or.
I've heard nothing, just crickets.
Yeah.
I sent them I thought a very nice email considering how angry I was. And I've heard nothing.
Well, I thank you folks for putting it together.
It's great. And I thought we heard some really good stuff. And I think we'll hear more. If you and I ran into Steve, he's got some more thoughts, so we'll hear from him again.
And I learned a lot about the stow system, how many times they pumped.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly.
That's what happens when your source is at the bottom of the mountain and
There was one meeting that the town did at the fire station. I think it was for the armory. I'm not. Anyway, there was a like a karaoke machine, speaker, portable speaker, and a microphone that were used for that meeting.
Yeah, we tried that at the car, but it was.
It had reverb. It had reverb.
That was the most successful one. I don't know what we did different, but
Yeah,
I didn't know that you were aware of that.
No, we tried it and it really, people on the line were going, you know, there were all kinds of weird, so we have to figure that out.
I mean, the first meeting, public informational meeting on the watershed went really well.
Yeah. Well, I watched the first one on Orca. They'd rewind because I wasn't there, but that was excellent.
Yeah,
I think too.
And that was also at the fire station?
yeah,
Yeah, but it was Orca's recording.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, of course.
Right.
Yeah, you said that.
But the Zoom connection we had worked then,
Yeah.
so that was too bad.
Mhm.
But all the presentations are online and the presenters very graciously said, anybody, give us a call if you have any questions.
Nice.
Did you get many?
Well, we got the one email that you saw, and that's, we'll hear from Duncan and Mike when the time comes, so that's good. I thought it went well.
So you're looking at the summer to do?
Well, after the annual meeting, then. Yeah,
It's only your second annual meeting, so why should you remember anything?
that's right. But, yeah, we should sit down and talk. We haven't had a chance. Between this and the contract negotiations, and it's just, we're busy. Maybe, actually, it's in the morning, for the next week.
I have an EPA audit between now and the rest of this
Forget it then.
month, so.
Oh, forget it. I didn't think EPA cared about it.
Oh, yes.
Cindy's the only one of us who has a day job.
Yes, okay. Well, then
So
we'll,
after April 28th,
okay, well, I'm going away for a week as well, so that works out. Yeah, so we'll,
Between now and then.
next week, going away at the end of next week. Mini family reunion on the website. Okay. Great.
So next up was the annual meeting preparation.
Yeah.
I think Woody had a draft.
I think you all have it in your, should have it in your packet. At least the front side. Been reviewed by the attorney. He does not have any issues with it. Other than Skip, it will be everybody's first visit looking at this. So if you want to take a minute and read it.
Of course. So what am I
I'm
looking
not
at?
sure I had.
The warning,
Yeah, it should look like this.
Oh, there it is, yeah, it's in there. It was right behind that. Keep going, it's like, but it's still part of the. That piece of paper is right in
Done by
there. There you go.
What will be done by Zoom?
public information meeting will be held by in person and in Zoom. Allow for questions and discussions on May 13th at 7:30 p.m. So it's saying that this meeting will be in person and in Zoom. It's calling it a public information meeting. And so
Are you looking at the link? Yeah, no, it says it right there, it's the third
the
paragraph.
third paragraph, it's,
You don't have the public informational meeting the same night as the annual
I know
meeting.
that
And you don't have the annual meeting by Zoom.
it's never by Zoom.
Yeah, let's take that.
Can't vote by-
let's take
can't
that
vote by
paragraph
Zoom.
out.
So we don't Zoom at all, the annual meeting? As opposed to, so there's no remote option to get into it? Okay, we can take that out.
Did you-
Why is that though? I mean,
Because you
why-
can't vote by Zoom.
You can't vote.
But
No, but I
observe
understand that, yeah. But I mean, every other meeting is on Zoom. informational purposes.
Well,
I don't care.
town
I
meeting
just-
wasn't on in Zoom, I mean, it was all in person. But it was
Yeah,
on Zoom.
I don't think you can run with
You can broadcast the meeting, but then you're just opening up a can of worms for people that are at home that want to participate, and you can't vet them.
Knowing that they're.
You know, you can log on to Zoom under any name. I can't vet who's on Zoom voting.
Right.
Yes,
wouldn't-
I just,
They can't
as a point of information, how everybody always wants to be able to see what everybody's doing. I understand you can't vote, but I'll take it out. Yeah, that's fine.
We don't do it for town meeting, do we?
Right, no.
No, give me a minute, I'll go take it out.
Okay. Reports?
I think you have had an informational meeting though let me go see if there's still a copy
Well,
of
you
last.
only need an informational meeting if you're gonna have a bond.
Bond vote? Okay, I'm just gonna look at last year's warning, because
But I think they're.
Well, I don't know, let's have a bond vote. What the hell? What do we want a bond for?
Well, we do have to borrow money to the bond,
Well, that Article 4 we do every year. Right?
right, just in case.
I don't know why I took my glasses off, and I said, I'll go look at it.
I can take my glasses off.
No,
It's small.
There's no informational meeting last year.
Yeah, no.
No.
You know what, you did once.
Yeah, we did do it once, and I can't recall, might have been COVID when we didn't do it in person or something. I feel like there was one once, but there was not one last year.
We haven't had any bond votes at sea funding.
No, I think you're right, Ken. I think the year that there was 1 year that it had to be all Australian ballot. So we
Yeah.
had a public information meeting that we did by Zoom.
That
And
makes
when people were no
Yeah.
ballots and
Yeah.
they voted.
Yeah, and there was it was just that information. It wasn't, yeah.
He's gone to print another.
I think you went to take that out, yeah. Yeah, that's what he said.
So to make things a little more interesting or longer than 10 minutes, I was gonna have Steve Hockenbach show a few slides of those birds and things up there, and a few slides from Sophie's work up there, just to kind of show what we've been doing. Do the presentation to Alec, the report, and then to get on with the business of the meeting.
Great.
I had this PowerPoint a couple of years ago, and then moving the table was when we tore the connection to the.
Oh, that's
projector.
right. I remember that, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That sounds great.
All data should
So I struck that information out, and is there anything else? It's,
No, it looks good.
Can I look at it?
You got the official one?
yes, you can put your signatures on the back.
Well, I wondered why you went off to print it. Yes. Now I understand.
And I'm just gonna make a cleaner copy.
So even if we borrow money from ourselves, we need the article to approve borrowing that.
Yeah, I don't know if you actually do, if you're gonna borrow from yourself. We always did. And what that does, it gives you the option. You know, in times of, we'll probably never see them again, but in times when the,
Did he add a
interest
signature?
rates were 2%, it would be better to borrow from the bank at 2% and let your money in investment portfolio earning 6%. But now, if you gotta pay the bank, 4.5 or 5.5%, it might be better to borrow from yourself. But I would do it and have the voters authorized borrowers, then you can have some better options to do what's best.
April, today's date, Vermont, 8th of April.
Thank you.
You got a black pen?
Yeah.
You want to sign it really big so King George III will read it.
I got blue. You want to just pass black around?
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta keep.
He's actually.
It doesn't-
No, he was
It's
much-
just gonna get scanned. It doesn't matter what color the pen is.
He's going crazy. He's relatively close.
That's like somebody else.
So the report is dedicated to Alec for all his.
That's terrific.
He said Woody found a great
You can get that.
picture of Alec and his red truck. Woody was on it with his white truck last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Thanks, Cindy and
Well, let's see.
Rick too wrote up an article about Cindy did the East Wind project and Rick did the work on the watershed, and Sophie did a report for us on the work in the watershed. They're gonna be followed the commissioner's report.
That's the best handwriting from left hand you've ever seen.
I guess we should have had a motion to sign the warning for the
Well, I move that we sign the warning.
for the annual meeting for May 13th, is it?
Yes.
There's a second to that?
Cindy's already on it.
Motion's been made and seconded to sign the warning for the annual meeting of the Edward Farrar Utility District on May 13th, 2006. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
All right, some of the other things that go in your book, we've been amassing, as you said, Skip, Cindy's report, or Rick's report, your report, Sophie's report, all those things. Bill's provided some stuff on fund balances, et cetera. That's all in there. I have put in your packet some rough drafts of budgets that will go in your report. I realize we have not talked extensively about what your budgets are for the water and wastewater departments for this coming year. I think you've loosely touched on things. I have had a chance to at least get into the wastewater side a little more so than the water side. But if you would like to go through those, or what's your pleasure on the budgets for the water and wastewater departments?
What's changed from last year?
There is not a lot. I held off on a lot of stuff. I had to wait on salaries till the union contract is signed, so that's why it's all in draft form. I can hit some highlights for you if you want.
Yeah, why don't you?
So as I said, the pay items for both water and wastewater were just placeholders in there till we knew what the union contract was going to tell and when it was going to take effect. Let's start with sewer. I think Kaya put a separate sewer page in there.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah,
Small.
different. It's
We don't need to. Somebody else. Yeah, so on the sewer side. Sewer department, so the regular pay is a placeholder until we get the union numbers in there. Other than that, Matt has not a lot of big asks of the coming budget. If we go down and look at, department, these are all those are pretty normal numbers. His chemical costs might include an addition of a new dry polymer they might try out. That's on line item 48, I believe it is. So that won't be a huge difference, but a little bit of a difference there. Building maintenance and utilities, electric, solar, those are all still similar. His big changes might be coming in. He's going to do a little extra work in the sewer main collection system maintenance. How we parse that out. He's got some grout injection and manholes that he wants to shore up, similar to work he did last year, which has helped out a lot with the infiltration and inflow problems. He's also got a little extra work in the main pump station, which is kind of just happens every few years, changing out some lights and such like that. One of his big asks is for a monitoring system for his other pump stations. We have pump stations on Whistle Mountain, the Ice Center, Lincoln Street, that he monitors and checks physically weekly, but this monitoring system would be a remote system that he would be able to, pull up the data immediately to see if there's an issue or not.
Is that the 16,000? Is that
correct? I believe that is, yeah. So that's his, also a rail system for the Grandview, the Whistle Mountain Pump Station. That would allow you to not have to enter the confined space to change the pump out, which would be advantageous in a safer environment for the operators. A rail system just means you can pull the pump up from the top without having to go down in. And
is that on the same line item of new equipment?
I believe that's in the new equipment. He was also asking for a push camera, which we've really been in need of for several years.
What's the put that goes up the pipe?
Goes up the pipes. Yeah, we hire out a lot of the camera work, but there's often times where you have an issue and you're in need of a push camera. Just
sigmoidoscope for the pipes.
Yeah, at a certain time rather than having to call a contractor.
Yeah, right.
And the only other thing I hadn't added into Matt's budget yet was he's looking into replacing his 1-ton pickup. It's got a lot of rust on the body. They use it obviously for sewer collection system, manhole work, for towing the trailer, excavator.
The one we got when we added the mag system there and stuff.
Yes. So what, that's probably now 10 years old almost, yeah. So that's Matt's budget. He did pretty well last year, keeping in the line. Those guys have done some excellent work. Matt's focused a lot on stopping that infiltration, and it's paid off. He did have a large section of pipe. He was thinking of pipelining, similar to what we did last year at the end of Union Street. I think we'll probably hold off on that unless you feel otherwise, I guess.
And where would that be?
It's actually right behind you, Rick, on the ball field. It's the wastewater line comes across there. Right near before it goes down the process station. So the pipelining worked great.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's just
like 30,000 gallons, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that was an obvious one. The TV showed leakage coming in pretty good.
So do you have to pump the flow around while you're lining it?
Yes.
So that,
Yeah, so you try to pick a low flow time as best you can. So that's how we sit. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really fine tune anything on that measure with the wastewater or water budgets. I can go through water. Water doesn't have a lot of asks. As to
On
its-
the
Not on the warning, is it, the budget?
No, yeah. So that's why we can do it now. We can, although we will put a budget, whether we call it proposed or.
right in the.
it's in the report.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, the voters don't go
No,
by
they-
budgets,
No.
but your budget started January 1st, so it's just.
How about the study of the wells and all that we were doing this year? Is that gonna come out of this year's budget?
It is coming out of this year's budget. I got the partial bill just yesterday.
So we don't need anything in next year's to.
No, but when we're talking about it, as Bill just said, we're already paying this
So it's
year's.
going to be in these numbers here. So
For both water and wastewater, I see line items for diesel and gas.
Yeah,
Might want to.
Yeah, those are-
Conservative.
yeah, I put $137.36 in my pickup out there,
Oh,
courtesy of you
Yeah.
folks yesterday.
Yeah.
So, which is up
yeah, you want to,
significantly.
Yeah, it's actually came down a little bit in the last couple of days from what I
Yeah.
can tell. And who knows what's gonna happen, but yes, it's 40% higher than it was.
It makes, it'll be a bigger hit for highway, but,
Yep.
like I said, that's just my truck. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Natalie.
just, back to, I think that there's two line items that probably cover all of the detail of the, requests for equipment, and that would be equipment maintenance, because that's a 40,000 or so increase, as well as the new equipment. So those two items together really are covering what you had delineated, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
So the 95 and 16 pretty much are covered by what we presented. Yeah. And then I have a question just about the solar lease. Will you be getting some figures pulled together on that income, on that revenue?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah. And I know Tom was working a little bit on that.
I would defer to Bill before he left the room.
He almost made it out.
I was coming back, but what's?
The solar,
Solar lease, we don't have any figures here, but for revenue.
yeah,
I bet it's not much.
But, well, there is the lease and then there's, yeah, it's $5,000 a year and then
Well, there's.
there's that other
You have
calculation.
a couple, you've just,
she's speaking of the wastewater.
okay, and
But then there's also
did you ever get, Chris Parson sent an email earlier in the year, and he had an amount of money ready to send you, sent to you and the bookkeeper,
Yep,
that, and I said you should bill it. And I don't know if you billed it, but
I believe we did, but I don't know for sure. I will check with that.
well, I can look when I go back to my office. So I know that one is, there's a percentage of what it is that you get.
Yeah.
The one up in the well field is much more difficult, because that really just credits your electricity lines.
in addition to the annual lease payment.
Yeah, there's a lease payment that's relatively small.
Yeah.
$5,000 or something. like that.
Right, but the other calculation
But
is that,
the production simply is a credit against your energy bill.
lease.
It's supposed to be happening in real time now. It used to be that we had a true up at the end of the year, but I believe it's happening regularly.
That's a very good news.
People are paying attention to it.
So, I guess I would take directive from you folks as to what you would like to see in your annual report with regards to budget. If we label everything proposed, or, would you like to meet again? What would you like to do? As Bill mentioned, we don't vote on the budget, so.
We don't have much time to meet again at future.
No, yeah, no, agreed.
So,
No, proposed is fine, or preliminary.
Yeah. Okay.
I think preliminary is better.
Yeah,
and you
that's
put
pretty
some
clear that it's not.
rate increases here.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
you know, dependent on what your theory is on rate increases. Do we go inflationary with stuff, or I think your water line item is going to be a little troublesome. Last year's spending was a little over what you had budgeted. So
Tom was a big proponent of making annual increases rather than going 3 or 4 years at a bigger jump. But we need to do a 3-month notice, so you got the notice of the increase in one bill that would happen the next time. So.
Well, that's what we did. Did it go into effect in February? Didn't we just do one in this past?
Did one a year ago.
It was a year ago already, I forgot.
Yeah, I think everybody okay with the proposed budget?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually I think preliminary is a better word for it, because by proposed, that might suggest a degree of completion, or preliminary means degree of.
That okay?
Yeah, the,
Preliminary is the word?
That's all right with everybody.
keep trying to arrange the rate increases to come out right in the office. And missed it once again. And the other thing is, there's the Comac deal, we got a trust on that.
yeah,
Afterwards, where's the stay over like they're a piano, man? It's really amazing. You got them to pay for the whole thing and they threw it in the truck. That's, I can't believe, okay, great. That's great.
I don't recall any truck being thrown in.
we got a garage at the water plant. They got a truck at the wastewater plant. They threw the garage in at the water plant, so, yeah. And the ATVs.
And outstanding.
And when was that?
Yeah.
When was that?
Lisa has a question.
Who's got one?
Lisa?
Mhm.
Lisa?
Go ahead.
Hi, folks. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I hate to interrupt. I'm just confused and I want to make sure I understand. So the idea behind putting in the report a preliminary budget, what's going to be on the warning? Do the voters at the annual meeting still have to approve a budget?
No, they don't approve the budget.
That's just
Okay.
This is information.
Okay, and this is preliminary at this point because we're not going to know before the deadline to get this printed what the final numbers are going to be because you haven't locked in the details regarding the union contract and the final numbers for wages?
That would be part of the equation, yeah.
Yep, part of it. Fuel costs are another. But yes,
Staffing.
staffing.
And we're behind on everything because of the year we've had.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. For just a second there, I was just thinking that the warning's been approved and I thought there was a budget vote that had to happen on the warning that was confusing me. Okay.
No budget. No.
Okay. Well, we'll stay tuned for the final version then. Thanks.
Well, yeah, and the budget's one thing and then the actual expenses are another, right? So, yeah. But we track it.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know who the G is up there? Could
His name is
the,
Michael.
the person attending on Zoom with the letter G, would you mind identifying yourself for the minutes or?
Just as Michael.
Last meeting, they were meant for subsidy.
And Ann, is that you with the A?
Yeah, that's Ann. Yeah. It says her name underneath her A.
Yeah, that's me under the A.
Okay,
Yes.
Oh, it's very light, yes.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and I can because I have the screen right here, Skip. I have an advantage on you.
Well, thank you. And is somebody, Orca's really there or what's,
They're taping it.
Right?
and they're recording it through
Zoom.
what you see? And
Mhm.
then they'll post it on their website?
I have no idea. I don't know whether they post it or not, but
Yeah.
they often attend. Oh, Lisa's shaking her head that they do. Yeah. I'm usually here. I don't have to go watch it, so.
It's too exciting.
So Woody, what's the status of the lease at the water?
The roof work. Yes, I was instructed to get a second price. That gentleman had visited the site, called me several times. They've yet to provide me with the second price. But they also specialize in this type of roof. He was right on it to come and visit the site. Had a few questions about reusing the ballast that's on there or providing new ballast, as to the thickness of the membrane, as to the thickness of the insulation. But he has yet to provide a price. So,
You had one of 200,000
in that neighborhood, yeah.
Anything else on the?
I have questions.
Sure.
The annual report, is that being made in-house? Like you have somebody on staff that's organizing that and putting it together? Okay. Do you have somebody on staff that's doing a checklist and administering ballots in advance?
I looked at the timeline you had sent me. And the ballot has been made once all the signatures were verified.
No signatures on the ballot.
I mean, signatures on the petitions have been verified.
Oh, yes, okay.
It can be on the ballot.
Okay, okay,
And yes, so that's been done.
okay. And so I assume Beth is the person that's gonna work on sending ballots to anyone that asks for one and doing early voting?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there an expectation that I will be here on May 13th from 7 to 7, or I'm not needed?
Are you, I was thinking you told us you were gonna be.
I can be here, yeah. I'm just confirming whether that's the expectation or whether there's other things that have been discussed.
What's counting the ballots and all that is the Board of Civil Authority with the
The last.
people within the district.
Yeah, typically, to be honest, Skip, there's not a lot of ballots to count. We haven't really needed to enlist help from the Board of Civil Authority. The exception was the year that there was a Harwood budget ballot, right? And you had several hundred voters that year, but I think last year there might have been 30.
30.
So
There was 100 someone, yeah.
typically Beth and I would do it. Last year, Beth and I just did it ourselves. You know, the office closed at 7. We had about a half an hour to count the ballots, prepare the information, and then Beth left and I came in here to do the meeting at 7:30. I'm not sure Beth's being compensated because the stipend for the clerk goes to me. So I just want to bring attention to the fact that she would be doing that work without compensation, at least from EFUD. And that I don't have the capacity to either be here for 20 days before, which is what state statute mandates. So you would need Beth or someone else on staff that can do that for you. I'm just stating facts. I'm not advocating for anything.
So you're in town on the day of the meeting, so
I can request what they call a civic duty day. I have not made that request, but I can. And I assume I would be allowed to take May 13th off.
oh, okay. So
See you all later.
Thanks, Bill.
you could get here at your normal 4:30 when closing up of the,
Oh, I could do that too, I guess. Then I wouldn't need a civic duty day.
No.
If I'm needed here from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.,
For the hours of.
then I would need to take a civic duty day.
Oh.
Because that's the hours of your voting.
So maybe it's either that or discuss with the manager and Beth about availability and.
Yeah.
Or maybe, and also what about, the Board of Civil Authority perhaps, are they qualified to?
Of course they are. Yes, so bear in mind,
qualified.
Actually, yes,
so,
and do here, they're not.
so technically your clerk is your election official. I, as your clerk, am in charge of that day. I can delegate it. But I don't know who on your Board of Civil Authority. Liz Schlegel works full-time. Aaron Mooney works a full-time job. Katrina Van Tyne is in the village. I don't know what she does for work. I can't speak to her schedule. I'm going off memory. I don't know who else you even have in the village that are on the Board of Civil Authority for the Edward Farrar Utility District. So Liz has offered to help. I'm sure she'd be happy to come and help. I can ask her to just administer the election if that's your wish.
What are your thoughts?
Liz is great. I think it's fine. Or Erin, but as you say, she's working and they both are. And whatever. I mean,
Yeah, we
if
need
you want to take
someone
it
7 to 7.
I'm happy to have you take a civic duty day.
Right.
Whatever really works.
I guess that would be best if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And if you ask for that, they'll let you know, do you think promptly?
I don't know, Natalie. I don't have the
asked
experience.
for that.
I don't even know, like, I may get the civic duty day and go unpaid. I don't know. I'm on probation, so I don't know. That's my problem, not yours. But I do want to circle back to the fact that somebody on staff here at the municipal office is taking care of other duties leading up to May 13th,
Right.
including inquiries for ballots, mailing ballots, and things of that nature.
Yeah, so we can.
And I just needed to know for myself that the annual report was being dealt with because I didn't get any information in my email. So, all set, then that's great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And Amanda McKay, she lives in the
Oh.
village, right?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah,
yeah.
Do you know if she works or?
She was working from home last day.
Yeah, I went off memory. I just knew those three on Winooski Street.
So where did we land? I was looking up JP's who lived in the village.
Karen will do the
13th.
request.
I'm going to see if I can get the 13th off as a civic duty day, and if I can't, then I'll have to circle back to see what the plan is.
I guess we're asking Beth to take, right? Until then, the responsibility for.
So, yeah, well, we want to address Beth and, or whomever's really helping Beth with pre-election day.
Yes, I mean, Karen's accurate 20 days before. There is work that needs to be done and someone needs to be here depending on if someone comes in to vote and all those things.
Right,
Yeah.
so we need to address that, and then we need to make sure that we're being fair with people's time,
Mhm.
allocation of doing their time for us in that capacity.
Because as Martha will tell you, Beth works for her. She doesn't work for you folks.
Okay, well then,
Who?
Martha.
select board, town,
Oh,
because she does, she gets her paycheck. So that is something we need to make sure we are covered, but it's covered that
Yes.
the
Well,
pre-election, mechanics are,
we're gonna discuss that, aren't we? Isn't that still on the,
well, I think we're still on that.
yeah.
So I'm saying as clerk, you oversee the election, but can anybody, what does overseeing mean? Could Rick sit there from 7 AM to, so,
No, he's on the ballot.
Yeah,
me then, me?
Technically, yes, but
Yeah.
the presiding officer of the election is the clerk.
Mhm.
And there's language in statute that allows you to delegate it. I do think the best case scenario is for me to be here or an individual from 7 AM to 7 PM, not
Absolutely, yeah.
not
Yeah, no,
2-hour shifts.
Agree, because somebody could question whether they're a village voter or not a village voter.
I can't even print a voter checklist. I don't. Well, you have to print one the night before the election, and you have to have it marked with any absentee ballots that have been either mailed or voted. So there's thankfully your checklist is a fraction of the size of the town's checklist. It's like 15 or 1,600 people opposed to 4,500 people. It's a lot smaller. It's a much easier election to manage. I do think the 13th, the best thing would be I would do it in here. I didn't even look to see if the room was available, although I feel like it is. Previously we would do it in the office, but I think I would do it in here, not disrupt that.
So as village clerk,
Actually,
why would you not have access still to the voter checklist?
you'd have to ask Vermont.
Just
yeah.
seems you're the clerk.
yeah, you are the clerk, that's,
I don't have access to them anymore.
but the state took away the access.
The state took away the access when I came off the list as the town clerk in January.
That's the town, yeah, that's appropriate, but no.
Yeah, they don't identify the difference. Nanette was saying that she had a school district in Essex or Westford, wherever, one of the towns that she was a clerk at. And they also didn't have access to the voter checklist. Our schools don't have access to the voter checklist. So I think that should be locked down, Natalie. I think the state has a responsibility to ensure that, because if I had access, I have access. I can see a lot of things that are,
Even though it's two different municipalities.
it's one database, and it's a statewide database. It's not an EFUD database. So I think it's fine that I don't have access, but it does mean that I need to rely on the town clerk for Waterbury to provide me that list. I can't obtain that list myself. Beyond that, ballots by statute have to be ready 20 days in advance. They can be ready before that. If Beth has already done the work of ensuring that the signatures are accurate and the deadline has come and gone, ballots can be available now at any point. You don't have to wait until that deadline to mail ballots or make the public aware that they're available.
This is getting clearer. Well, we should really speak with Martha.
No, I was joking.
But just to be clear that.
I think you speak to Beth.
Yeah,
I think you speak to Beth. You don't need to speak to Martha. In my opinion, it's Beth.
Yeah, I mean, Karen's right. Beth will be doing the work, the 20 days plus, however it might lie with maybe 5 voters one day or 1 voter, she's in the office.
Yep.
Yeah. And if she is asked to be here as well on the 13th or whatever the day is, somebody should ask Beth. And I'd be happy to ask her if you'd like, or I'll let you folks deal with it however you'd like. So.
Yeah, I think the 13th, to be clear, can be a revolving person helping me.
Yeah.
And this is all based on an assumption that I can be here, but Beth doesn't have to leave her other duties to come in here, but between her and Liz and Katerina and
Yeah.
Amanda McKay, whoever can help me that day. That can be revolving. The other thing to note, just to get it on record, is that the annual reports have to be distributed 10 days before the meeting. So when those come in from the printer, they have to be distributed to a number of locations in the village. So that's another item that has to be done.
Now, Karen laid out a timeline for when things needed to be done. I'm working backwards. I'm less thinking about what happens May 13th as opposed to what had to happen today.
So you've got
See if I could accomplish that before the end of the day.
But my deadline was April 6th and yours was April 1st and it's April 8th.
Well, I won't say I foresaw some things, but I gave the commissioners the April 1st deadline to fill me in, give me their reports. And I'm not pointing at anybody, but those reports did not come on April 1st. They came, and I just know how busy people are. So I gave you false deadlines to do.
Well, Carla always was lenient.
I sent like 3 reminders saying your deadline's in 2 days, your deadline's in 24 hours.
In full disclosure, my manager's report I wrote for your annual report by protest, because I was not your manager during the past year when this report covers, but I wrote one anyway. And it was the last to be submitted.
I just want you to know that I was given my deadline 24 hours before it was my assignment.
I think you were the first to get.
Well,
Fortunately, much had already been written. Much of what I wrote had already been written.
And that's what I think I told Skip in my report. From what Rick covered and what Cindy covered and what Skip covered, I didn't have a lot to cover.
So we got a tentative plan for May 13th and intervening.
I will, I'll make the request tomorrow and I'll let you know.
Posted though.
Of course, yeah.
And you and Woody will talk about.
Yep.
The other thing, just a quick note, I still only get emails from in this organization to my junk. So like if you were to email me or if he emails me or Beth emails me, it still only goes to my junk mail. So if you don't hear from me, follow up with a second email or a little note or something, because I might not see it.
I'm surprised at all the emails that I get that I only find in my junk.
Yeah, I've done some.
Really?
I looked today from Roy Schiff, who I email all the time, and SLR ended up in my junk.
Right.
All right. East Wind project, what the current status is, or
Cindy, you want to go first?
Sure. So the lowest responsive bidder, which checked out, is J.A. McDonald. Their bid was valued at $1.161 million, which was about $500,000 below the engineer's estimate. We signed contracts. They are starting later this month. And they have a deadline to achieve substantial completion by the middle of September.
wow.
The only thing they really have to worry about is fuel costs, right?
Yeah, what's going after? Yeah.
Cool.
So the right of ways.
They're trickling in. My general thought is that there's some people, about a third of the populations are right on it. They send those, like the trailer park guy and others are right on it. They send it right in. Problem is, some have signed it without the presence of a notary. So that's an issue. And a third of the people who have said they will sign, they're just still kind of hanging. So I'm going to hit them up again here soon. But I think
You want any of us?
no, I think these people are all just, like everybody else. They're
Life's busy.
life's-
I just know on my other jobs, my big jobs, it's an issue every week.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, what, two neighbors, I spoke with one the other day and they were talking and one said, I immediately signed and sent it back. The other one's like, yeah, I haven't even opened the email yet. So. I did hear from Ivy Computers, who just up the road out of service range, even though they're already one of our customers, and they want, larger diameter. They want water to come up 100 to them, honestly. So we're still, we're going to meet, Friday, right, Cindy, what to do with this leftover money, because I think there's options.
So,
You were waiting to hear from EPA or?
Yeah, I heard yesterday. They gave me an answer I was hoping for, so. We just need to make some decisions internally.
So when is there a likely contract signing or?
Contracts already signed. We've had contract signing and pre-construction meeting already.
So the second money would probably be a second contract there, we can discuss that. No, it's all, I was amazed that the prices came in that good. That was all great news.
That's because we got out there early.
Yeah, I think the timing had a lot to do with it.
And just within the past 2 weeks, big prices are doing this.
Okay,
Yeah, very good.
update on the UDAG loan for the Stowe Street Cafe that we were trying to catch up with John Zimmerman. Valerie had a question about
It's just about the revolving loan in general. Just appointing policy, you appointed, people to be on the revolving loan fund, and I'm just wondering who they are.
On the advisory committee.
So,
On the advisory committee.
yeah, so just the names.
well, we have, but the citizens, residents or community members are Rich Hayes and Paul. There was Roger Platt from the
he was a
select board member. And then John Zimmerman of Waterbury Area Development C.
And Ann.
Yeah, you got Ann.
I think Charlie Grenier was on it.
Charlie Grenier, he is still on it, yes. You saw him last night. Look great. I was said that.
Yeah.
And the new
Oh, that's who it should be.
Yeah.
It was Owen, but it's the Waterbury Revitalizing Waterbury's Economic Development Coordinator has been newly appointed, and her name is Gretchen Sisson. So she would be taking that role that was prior by Owen 75 years. That's more.
So I think those are, that my friend was supposed to be, according to the policy, he was the manager.
Yes, who guides the,
So there's more than 5 then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people?
yeah,
Okay.
it's just by, yeah, and it is the manager that, is the head of the committee to,
Okay, it seemed to be a black hole to figure out who was on the actual revolving loan committee. And it says there's 5, so
all right,
I couldn't find it in place.
really? Okay.
So it seemed odd.
And
yes, we did them at different times, and some of them are WB kind of put on there. The select board will need to revisit Roger perhaps now because he's head of RW. Is he the one that they want?
Right, they might want somebody else.
Yeah, this is kind of like a place where nobody wants to talk about it, it seems, based upon not being able to get any communication back. So I said, because I saw that you appointed them, I thought you would be like the quickest way to get to.
Well, it would be, but it's, you know, it's been a bit of time and I don't know. But I'll look it up. I'm gonna look up the little.
Yeah, I just thought it should be public. Would you agree?
Well,
It is
and
public,
did
and you're
go
right.
public, and that's how we got Ann and Rich Haynes.
Yeah.
That's what the, so we finished off saying we really wanted to have community members, so we put out a posting. And I think we had to do the posting twice.
You did.
And then there was responses, and the two of them, we were looking for one actually, and I think that we as a board decided to actually appoint both of them. That's my recollection. This was usually one person, but we had interest from two, and we said that's not a bad thing. Right, great. Thank
And
you.
any final decision comes here, they make their recommendation.
Great. Thank you.
You know how to spell Gretchen's last name?
SCHNI.
Sorry, I wasn't ready. I apologize. Oh.
I do have her. She.
You still want to find out more about the Stowe Street Cafe?
Well, yeah, I was curious to see, well, we'd asked for an update on the status of the UDAG loans, just in general, you know, like all this kind of, you know, payments are coming in.
I can tell you about this one. I just got the numbers this afternoon.
Okay, so, yeah, so how things are shaking.
There are two loans. And they're in arrears since November.
That's enough time.
Yeah, that's, yeah, no, and they have not. Okay, there are two loans. One is called UDAG 17 and one is called UDAG 22. The principal balance on 22 is really quite small. According to what I have here, it's about $500. The principal balance on the other one is roughly $29,000. Both of them have been unpaid since those balances I've just given you, which were in November. And the payments are roughly, one of them would be $900 a month. And I just learned this, so if I get the numbers not quite, and the other one is $156 a month. You know, if I take that back, 782. No, I don't mean the terms. Well, the terms are you pay these.
No. It's a,
Oh.
you know, how many years that.
Oh, well, yeah, I do that. I can tell you that. Well, actually, yes,
I think if you look in last year's village report and because report, you'll find.
Oh,
this one, the one, number 17 goes to September of this year, and number 22 goes to August of 28. Now, I can only speculate, and this is entirely speculation, so I have no idea. People are developing plans for the Stowe Street Cafe, and I wonder if taking care of the loans will have something to do with that. That's the extent of my speculation. I mean, just by watching people walk around, that's the worst thing I can do is to speculate. I have no idea.
I just think that it would be prudent for us to reach out and just say, let's talk about, you know, the loans, then just call it what it is. It's been since November, haven't had a communication, you know, and just get caught up.
Well, knock yourself out.
I'd be happy to.
It'd be great if you did.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I can do it too, but I got other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But that would be.
Well, I think it should come from the office.
It could.
If that's what you'd like to do.
Just a communication to stay in
In
touch.
Bob's favor, I will hit up the Ice Center too for their, $500,000 they owe us there.
No, they're in compliance, they're in
I know.
compliance.
They're in compliance until when? Yes. No, Bill,
It's like
Bill, it does make sense for you to do it.
Yeah, no, I
Totally.
I will reach out to Stowe Street Cafe to just see what they're.
Have them address
Yeah.
the situation here, and then that's it, we go from there,
Right,
whatever that information is.
right. Well, that's,
And then the rest, and the other loans out
those are
there?
the only ones I looked at really quickly today. I just, so I don't know.
Oh, if you just got that today, but if you can do that for next time.
Yeah.
Well, usually they go in the report.
Or-
Oh, so you'll have it.
Yes,
You'll have-
it's already prepared. But I don't know what the answer is, but I believe everybody's caught up with the exception of,
Good, that's.
there was one issue with the treehouse guy and his ACH, or when we went away from ACH or something.
Oh.
Yeah, there was some
Right.
confusion,
The treehouse guy. I haven't been up there yet.
but he's all good now.
Have
It's
you?
a nice space,
I gotta
very
check it
nice,
out.
really nice. Okay, good.
All right. Are we down to department report?
Mm-mm. We have update on select board manager search and EFAD interim manager.
That's,
Take that one.
It's 6:20.
well, pretty much on time.
It's this right here. Update on select board manager search and the EFUD interim manager.
Yes, the select board is moving ahead with, Bill Frazier leading the search for the manager, and they talked to, being things that they would like us to continue as we are till the end of the year when they would do a new budget. So we would proceed with Woody as the interim town manager, interim district manager until the end of the year, and then we decide. But we want to be with, we would also be in the process of writing job descriptions if we wanted to make any changes, which is part of what we have to do for the union contract when we sign it anyway.
Yeah, we need to do job descriptions. And and the select board wants to work with us, think about just what the needs are. If they're going to be, job changes or structural changes, what the needs are and how most cost effectively to meet them. So all the things we've been talking about will just be continuing conversations. Is that fair, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gotta focus on their search and so we would look toward, when they get ready to do their budgets in November, whatever kind of
Right, but
discussions.
chances are they'll have discussions, formal or less formal, about what they're thinking and what we're thinking, right? And so they have an idea. If, for example, we're saying split the managers,
Yeah,
but then there's a question about business manager, bookkeeper, those sorts of things, and how we share or don't those positions.
So all of that will come to a conclusion towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
We're going to be working with our ideas, with the select board's missions, and so we're, like you said, we're going to continue machinating this in tandem with the select board in cooperation, if you will.
and presently we're sharing half of the increase, right?
Correct.
$1,200 a week. Correct. So the select board is paying 600 and we're paying.
Money well spent.
Well, I think if you would like to have it parsed out as to how the normal town managers, it's more of a 70-30 split typically, and that can all be trued up. That's those.
Anybody got any further questions or? Moving on, now we're at the department reports.
Audit engagement letter.
Oh,
Yep, so I have 2 copies of I think I scanned and emailed that to all of you.
yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 copies if everybody wants to sign. Price is $24,300.
What was it last year?
Similar. Yeah.
That's the thing I looked at. Are we using the same auditors?
Yes, yes. The only question I had was it's only a little less than what the town pays, which seems odd.
Setup costs.
Yeah,
There's certain,
I mean, yeah, it seemed a little I don't know how, yeah.
how long have they been the auditor?
Oh,
Not too many.
yeah, we made a big switch from Bill Iacoboni years ago. We did it for years.
Well,
It was a price sticker shock when these folks.
Oh my gosh, it was so different.
Yeah.
well, yeah, no, but I do actually encourage changing auditors on a fairly regular basis. It's just, through my experience, it was my experience with the organization I ran. We changed our auditors 3 times. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. And then,
Price or for other reasons?
We changed them as a matter of course, simply because we felt that change was important, that you don't get too comfortable, they don't get too comfortable with you or you with them, and that you might end up having, we thought, auditors who might not say things to us that we needed to hear, in fact. It was and even one of our auditors said, you ought to change your auditors. It's just something to do. It was just something to do. 20 years of the same auditor, I mean, maybe it's fine, but it was my experience with our MGL.
and I think the protocol, according to last night's meeting, would be that someone make a motion to sign the contract with the.
I moved that we authorize Woody to sign the contract.
You folks.
Oh, we sign the contract. Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But you do accept.
Oh, so we all do it, not just the chairperson? Okay.
I mean, these are, I know we all like to be formal and do things the right way, but I mean, they've already started the audit, so. I mean, that's the reality of it, yeah.
I think in
That's
your
a
motion, we ought to
responsibility on
include the
us.
price.
What is the price, 24,300?
Yeah,
And, well, I don't know the name of the auditor, so
Sullivan and Powers.
I move that we sign the contract with the auditor Sullivan and Powers for a total cost of $24,300. Actually, I moved the contract for 24 with, yeah.
I got it.
For an audit of 2025.
Right, for the audit of 2025.
Point to stop me. Second.
You said seconded?
Second, yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve an audit by Sullivan and Powers for 2025 for a price of $24,300. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes, so.
I think your point was good about switching auditors, but I will say that it's usually a really heavy lift
Oh, I know.
because they
They got to start anew.
you got to start out. So just bearing,
I understand.
throwing that out to the staff today.
I'm not suggesting that we do it. I'm just saying that practice.
It sounded like a suggestion, Rick. I don't know.
Well, a question of how long.
It was a question. I asked how long it had
Yeah.
been, and you
And-
changed recently, and that sounds fine.
Yeah.
And no, it's totally a heavy lift.
It's
fully understand.
probably been, I know Bill Iacoboni came here the first couple of years I was here, so it's probably been, I would say 7 or 8 years that we've been with Sullivan and Powers. Whenever Leanne retired.
Yeah,
Leanne didn't want to do it because she knew it was going to be a heavy lift.
yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, we just felt that it was mean, when your auditors are telling you to do it,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I can see the value in it. It's just
And the other thing with us is that we've gone from $1.2 million a year to $15 million a year in 4 regions of the world. So it really required more
an intense audit.
and more expertise, especially, with currency exchange and banking and so on and so forth. And in fact, just to tell you, to give you a funny story, just this past week, I had to sign a form for my organization because one of we had a subsidiary, had to form subsidiaries to do business in China and elsewhere. So I'm sorry. I was personally liable for them. And I said, I haven't been in the organization for 3 years. Why am I signing these reports? I could be, I raised a stink, but the auditor came back and said, okay, don't sign it, but you'll get sued. So I signed it. It's just weird. Now, this is the last time I ever had to sign all the changes were made, but I said you wanted to.
So that's what I thought.
They're duplicates. One's ours copy, one's their copy.
Okay.
So if something's messed up, we'll just keep ours.
No, thank you.
I haven't signed yet. I'll be there.
It's just that one was with me. Oops.
And then with your pen over. Sure. Thank you, sir. Okay.
You let me to close the blind.
No, it's not the sun. It's just sitting. Thank you, though.
That's yours. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You received any more data on wells?
No, I received a bill. So, or at least a partial bill.
So Bill, remind me why March 2007 was off the charts.
Was that the year, that might have been the year the ball field flooded, the 10-inch line?
Yeah, okay, yeah, this is what you said, you told me this before I asked, I say March, yeah, it was March.
Water was 3 feet deep.
Yeah, I hear that.
Town meeting day.
Yes, that's every time, and I think you told me this. So what happened? A pipe
Wedge hole in the pipe?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Did we have alarms at that? Reservoirs that?
Yeah, but I think it was flowing out so quickly that by the time the alarms were,
That was the closest you ever been, right?
yeah, oh yeah, we lost a lot of water that day.
Was that you as the operator or Mike was there then?
I was there, me and Scotty, yeah. Scotty was on that day, it was town meeting day, that day off, so.
So, but setting aside that, this year, this March was for lows, averages, and highs, the most we've ever had for a March. At least, no, I can't say that. Of these 3 years, that's all I can say.
Well, there has been, we had an instrumentation guy doing some work at the water treatment plant, and he determined that the way the effluent flow was being calculated was maybe not accurate in that it would grab, and I'll say 10 numbers every 10 seconds or whatever, but it was missing a number. And so in essence, we were 10%, the flows were 10% off.
10% low.
Yeah, it couldn't go the other way. I asked him, can we make it go the other way? And he said, no.
Well, but that means for earlier years. Has that been correct? Or just
well, no, it happened during a time when we maybe did a SCADA upgrade or some sort of software thing. So he couldn't actually pinpoint when it happened, but he said you will see a notice a change in your flows.
Oh, okay.
Do we have an out?
Yeah, is that the ones yeah.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
the news article.
Yeah.
Well,
Our own's parking, water and electric.
You made
oh, yes.
interim district manager in the report.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
Well, they didn't call you the district.
Wow.
Water, this is, oh, City of Montpelier, right?
Well, Montpelier has colorful.
Well, I put that in as an example of customer, and I didn't put all 6 pages. And Montpelier does I believe it's either weekly, weekly newsletter of their Department of Public Works happenings. They're very nice, and it's a 6-page document that covers a lot of information. I only gave you page 1 and 2, but I thought page 2 was of note. And this person wondered why we couldn't produce something like this for our customers. And I said, for one, because we don't have all these problems.
Right, so that would be my answer, yes. That would be exactly,
I mean,
it'd be zeros.
it's a wonderful report, but they have a lot to put in there. So, yeah.
Plus, they must have extra personnel to do
Yeah, although on one of the pages, there's 3 positions opening on the
Actually,
engineer.
they don't.
Yeah.
They're really down. Their distribution staff are hurting.
Yeah, I think
They've burned out so much with all these needs.
Yeah, but that report's probably not made by a distribution person. It's probably an admin.
This was made by one of their younger engineers.
Is it?
Oh.
I think they had an engineer position listed though that they were still looking for.
Yeah.
But the person who sent it to me was right. It is a very nice report.
It is, yeah.
Too badly for them.
So I just put that in there as something. Yeah.
Anybody got any questions on that before we
No, we're good.
move on to
Executive session.
session on the contract? For those who are still there, we'll go into executive to discuss contract. If we make any decisions, they would come out of the executive session and make those an open meeting following that. So somebody have.
I got it right here.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
No.
Have a language.
Oh, yeah. At 6:37 p.m., I move that we find that premature general public union contract EFUD in substantial.
There a second to that motion? The EFUD would be a significant, it's just. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes.
I move that we enter into executive session for the purposes of discussion of the contract, the labor contract with the union.
Right. Motion is made and seconded to go into executive session to discuss the union contract negotiation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes at what, 6:30?
6:38, I guess.
6:38.
I'll just bring up that typically when you go into executive session and you invite anyone outside the board, you should make a motion, you should include them in the motion. Like we're going to executive session and we invite the interim manager to join us. If you wish for him to join you,
I do.
that's customary.
Did you add that? Yes.
I will. So you'd like a friendly amendment?
Friendly amendment, and we would like to, I would like to invite the interim general manager or district manager to join us in these discussions. Thank you. I didn't, very good.
Amendment.
Second.
The motion has been amended as a friendly amendment to have the interim district manager join us in executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Those opposed? Motion.
Okay. To come out of executive session, I move that we authorize the chair of the EFUD Commission to sign the collective bargaining agreement that has been negotiated with the union and to sign the addendum that interprets for the duration of the contract several provisions in it.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to authorize the chair of the Farrar Utility District to sign the collective bargaining agreement that has been negotiated and to also sign the addendum outlining some
Interpretations.
interpretations. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes.
It's 7:28. I move that we adjourn.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.